Hey, what's up everyone? I'm going to show you how to get around a search delegation problem in Power Apps if you have a SharePoint list table. As you, here's the demo app that I'm making. Somebody types in some keywords into a field, and their results should pop up in a gallery or something, right? Pretty typical, right? So when you do that and you use the search function or the in function in Power Apps, you get a delegation warning, just warning you that if your table ever goes above a certain value, whatever you have set, either 500 or 2000, then it will not work correctly because Power Apps only searches on that first group of whatever number you have set in your settings. It will only search in that group. So what do you do if you have a large data set? So I've come up with two options to try to come around to work around this problem. They're not really pretty, but they get the job done. First one is what I've done is I broke that. I had a table of 15,000 rows, and I broke it down into 8 smaller tables. They all under 2,000 rows each, and I made a gallery for each one of those. So when the user types in a field into the search bar, each gallery is searching each of its tables individually. And when enough letters are put in, the user will find an appropriate one, and they simply just select whatever one from one of these galleries, and will populate that record back to the form where I'm working from. So it works pretty good. It works okay if you have 20,000 or less rows. So the problem with this is that now you got 8 tables, and you have to share each one of those data sources. First, you got to link them into Power Apps, then you got to share them when you want to share the app. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done for small ones that are between 2,000 and 20,000 rows. The next one example is I have a table with 43,000 rows. So I wasn't going to make what is that 22 galleries and 22 tables, so I'm not going to do that. So what I did instead is I took the original column of data and I worked some Excel magic to break all those rows in another worksheet into 22 columns of data. And I made a 23rd column that concatenated all of those values from a row into one cell. So now what I have is one column with 43,000 rows of data in only 1992 rows. That is something that Power Apps can search on now. So now that I have this column, Power Apps can search on that column and that table. So here's it in action. User will type in a word here. In this case, you are typing in VAUE. And the first gallery here will bring the results in from that column, that concatenated column, as a whole bunch of group. But it looks messy, right? The user's not, what the hell is going on here? So the more characters, though, the user puts in, these values will decrease. Hopefully they get to 1. That's ideally they down select all the way down to 1. But it doesn't matter whether they have 1 or as many as they have here. So all you got to do is now what the user does is they collect on one of these gallery results, and all of these values will now separate into individual buttons over here on the right side. In this case, 22 of them. And I also coded the color of each button to research, also search again on this value, and it changes the color. So that helps them find the value in this right table. And once they find that table they want, they click it and it returns it back to the form that I'm working from. So again, user puts in some some characters here for the keyword. The gallery populates here, and then the user will select which gallery entry they want, and all of those records will separate here, and then they can choose whatever value they want from here, passes it back to the form. So that's how you can select. That's how you can use search and in to get around a delegation warrant. Again, it's not pretty, and it takes the user 2 clicks to get to their final search result, but it's a way that it can get done. Cool. Hope it helps. Happy Power Apping to everyone out there.